Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Dating Diaries. I'm yours truly, Raquel, and we also have here on my left hand side.
Brittany!
I
We're
oh
back!
gosh,
Sorry, I have some little cute dog next to me.
I know she's adorable.
But she has better breath than most of the guys we be going on dates with.
True that. She probably has better. I had a date, and she probably has better breath than my last date. Anyways,
So I heard
oh,
that.
speaking of dates.
Oh, yes, I heard that you had this one interesting date.
Oh my goodness, I did. All right.
She's aging herself, but that's all right. Just
So
kidding.
about maybe 2 weeks ago, I met this guy on social media, and he was a very nice guy. And we were supposed to. I met him like on a Thursday. We were supposed to go out that Friday or that weekend, but something happened and we were not able to. So I said, okay, let's try and do during the week sometime. But he works, so he was not able to do it during work. So we decided to meet the following weekend, right? So we
Uh-huh.
had a whole week to kind of get to know each other over the phone,
Mm-hmm.
which we did, and we got to know each other.
Did you have phone sex?
No, we
Oh.
didn't. No.
Hmm.
Actually, he was very respectful, the guy. Very nice.
Boring. I'm
No,
just kidding. I'm
we
just kidding.
actually had good conversations,
No,
you
that's
know?
that's healthy. You're right. You're right.
It was a
Healthy.
yeah, it was actually really healthy, our little, our little sweet conversations. The day before we were supposed to
Wait,
go on
what?
a date.
Was he
Oh,
consistent when he was calling you?
it was.
They always start off like that, I'll
Tell
tell
you
you.
something. At the beginning, no, but towards the end of the week, he was on it. I mean, he was calling me maybe like 3 times a day, and
Oh, he
he
was
was
into
he was
you.
working, but he was still calling me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. And we because we were into each other, so we liked talking. So we're like, oh my gosh, I think maybe this is a good one.
All
We were
right.
both kind of excited.
Like the red flash came, no, not the red, the green flag came up, and you're like, oh, this might be a good one. This might be a good quality.
Well, speaking of
But
flags.
yeah, I was gonna say, but what happened? Okay, so you guys chat for a week, get to know each other. You guys have set up the date, and so the date comes.
So the date comes, and I was feeling so relaxed with him that when we spoke about meeting at a restaurant, I said, "You know what? I feel comfortable with you. How about if you come and pick me up?" And he's like,
Oh,
"Oh, okay." So, and mind you, I usually never do this. I
I know. That's why I'm like, that's
I
not
know it's
okay.
kind of off,
It's not like
no,
you,
not
but
like
you
me at
must have
all.
made you very
He made me feel very
and
comfortable. So I
safe.
said, you know what, come on down. So he did come on down, so when he came, he actually when he parked outside, he left his car on, and because he thought I was gonna hop in his car, we were gonna take off.
Just
And I'm
take
like,
off.
and when I saw him and we saw each other, he smiled a big old smile, and we looked at each other and we gave each other a big hug, and it was very sweet. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of cute.
Did he smell?
No, he didn't
Oh,
smile.
okay.
Well, then.
What?
I'm gonna tell you something. I learned a lot about myself on this date, you know? I
Okay.
learned and I'll tell you what I learned.
You have a good nose. You got a good sense of smell.
I have a I've always known that. I can, I'm not like a dog hound. I can sense stuff out like a mile away,
That's true.
you know? So, okay, so I felt so comfortable with him that I said, "You know what? Do you want to come in really quick cuz I need to get my stuff?" And he's like, "Yeah." So I'm like, "Turn off your car, come on in." He came in and then he's like, "Really nice house. I like your house." I'm like,
Thank
"Oh,
you.
thank you." I'm like, "Do you want a quick tour?" I said, "What do you mean, thank you?"
I helped. I'm
You
just
did.
saying.
You did kind of help. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Um, cabrona. And so I gave him a quick tour, and then afterwards I said to him, "You know what? I feel so comfortable with you. Instead of us going out and getting something to eat, how about if we go get something and then we come back and we eat it here, here at the at the house and we watched something.
So your plan was to go to the restaurant, but then because made you feel so safe and
Mhm.
comfortable, you guys decided just to have a dinner
I
here.
felt, I mean, I chose.
Oh, you chose.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Oh,
yes, I chose.
dang. Code for something else.
Usually, like the first date, I usually,
You go to
don't
the
do this. It's out
yes.
of character for me. If
Anytime you do that, guys' first instinct is, oh, something's gonna happen tonight.
Well, I don't know what he was thinking, but in my head, I didn't shave my legs.
I never stop nobody.
It does stop me.
Oh,
So,
maybe it just doesn't stop me, I guess.
so, so he actually is not from this area. He lives like an hour away.
Oh.
And when he came into town, I'm like, okay, I know this good taco place. Let's go. And they have drive through. So let's go to this place. So he's like, yeah, sure. So we got in the car and we started driving, and he doesn't know the city, this city. So it was dark, but he was like looking around. He's like, oh, this is nice. Like he was really liking it. He's like,
Okay. Okay.
oh, he's like, oh man, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna bring my motorcycle and I'm gonna
Ooh,
ride down the street.
motorcycle.
Yeah, he has a motorcycle, and I'm gonna
Mm.
drive down the street and
Sexy.
I'm gonna just check out this place. So he really liked, downtown, and he liked the area. So we went to go get our food, and oh my god, I I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but we ordered just two plates, two combos,
Uh-huh.
and it came out to like $43.
Did he make you split the bill? Oh, if he made you split the bill, that's a red flag. Get rid of that.
Well, I thought it was a lot because you would think
No,
10
it's
and
not.
10, you maybe
Well,
20 something.
it's actually more sometimes when you go to like actually dine-in places. So it
Hmm.
was actually pretty reasonable.
Okay, so I offered. I said,
You're
hey.
so sweet.
So I offered. I'm like, you know what? That's a lot. Let me help you. And he's like, no, no, I got it. So he takes out
Just
a
took his
crisp
balls away is what
hundred
you did.
dollar bill, and he's like, I'm like, oh,
So he didn't let you pay?
no, he didn't let me pay.
Ah,
I'm
now
like,
that's what
yeah.
I'm talking about.
So he was, very nice about that. I'm like, well, thank you. I appreciate that. So so we go back to my place, and we get comfortable here on the couch, and we're looking through Netflix. We saw, we I don't know, I don't even know what movie we started to see, but we actually, ate our dinner. We were watching TV, and then we started our little comments. We started, like I said, he's like, "Oh, you have very pretty hair."
Oh, he told you that?
He said that. And he's like, What's the longest you ever had your hair?" And I'm like, "Oh," I said, "Oh, down to my waist."
He said, ah,
When
okay.
he didn't know when I was a kid, I had it down to,
How old were you when you had that? For waist.
I have no
I've known
idea.
you for 10 years and I haven't seen it yet.
I
Down
know,
to the
I know,
waist.
I know. I was probably 12 years old the last time I had.
Hey, you don't need to know that.
You don't need to know that.
Technically, the truth. You did have it
Yeah,
long
I
down to
did
your waist.
technically. He didn't ask when. So, so we were doing like the typical flirting, like, he stuck out his hand. He's like, "Look, my hand." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you have such big hands." And then I put my chubby little hand on his big old giant hand. I was like, 3 inches on the fingers he had me. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you have giant fingers."
Wow.
So
Oh my, you guys really do know how to flirt with each other.
I don't know what we
You
were
didn't tell me
doing.
anything about his feet.
Oh, he had his shoes on.
Like, you got nice big feet. I like your shoe size.
No, we didn't get to compliment that part of the body.
So that part of the okay. So then what happened? You compliment his big
His
hands.
big hands. So we were chatting, and then one thing led to another, and we started kissing. Yeah, kissing on the couch.
You a good kisser?
He is a good kisser. He is. I'm like, oh, pretty, pretty. I like this.
Oh shoot. Did his
So,
breath smell?
huh?
Did his breath stink?
Okay, so when I first started kissing him, it didn't smell, and he he started doing the tongue thing, and and I'm like, oh, and it still didn't smell. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But later, it did smell. It
What?
happened. But let me
Okay.
just I'll tell you about that later.
Okay. All right.
So, we started kissing and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is nice." And then, we got a little hot and bothered and I said, "You know what? Let's stop because, I don't
I don't know why.
because I don't do that,
Oh, oh
at
yeah,
least
yeah,
not on the
yeah.
first
But to
date.
act like you don't do it, so then they think you're like
Girl,
pure
I
somehow.
don't do it on the I do it, but not on the first date, okay?
Okay, okay.
You don't believe me?
No, I believe you, but he probably doesn't.
Well, I'm sure he probably doesn't. He's probably thinking, "Okay, she
'Cause
got
you
me
know how
here."
many women say that? And I'm not saying that all women is not
Mhm.
true, but some of them, they just say that because they don't wanna look bad.
Mhm. Yeah,
But
he
he
doesn't
probably hears
know.
that over and over, so he doesn't know that you don't do it.
He probably doesn't know. Yeah, he doesn't know me. I mean, I've
No.
only known him for a week.
So then
So,
what happens? So you're like, "No, we can't because I'm just not ready."
yeah. So, maybe I was ready. Okay. So, no, actually, you know what? Look at
So what
listen,
okay,
listen,
okay, I'm
listen.
I'm ready
Okay.
to listen.
So, I said, "You know what? My back is hurting." And it was hurting because I was cleaning
Oh.
and it was kind of painful on my, back, my lower
Nobody
back.
cares about your back pain. What happened?
So he said, "Well, let me give you a little massage." And I'm like, "Okay." So he was giving me a massage on my lower back, and it was
Oh.
great. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it feels really good." He's like, "Yeah, but I really can't do it on the couch."
Oh my god. So what did he suggest?
I'm like, I said, "You can do it fine on the couch." He's like, "No, we need to get on your bed and
I
lay
would be like, "You
down."
wanna do it on the toilet?" Like, I could be sitting down sitting up while you do it or
Just
what?
do it on my tile, it's
Right?
nice and hard.
No, he obviously suggested the bed because he knows what he was trying to do.
I don't know what he was trying to do, but you know what? I know what he was trying to do. So
He's massaging the back.
so
He
he's
asked her
massaging the
to
back, and then I'm like, "Oh, this feels too good." Okay, I said, Let's go do a massage
you
on my
gave in.
on
You
my
gave in.
bed, but just a massage, okay?" So we go to the bed, and I lay on my back,
You went
and
into the trap. You fell into the trap.
I felt no. I mean, I'm pretty good. If I say no, I'm pretty good about
Holding back.
yeah, holding back. And he seemed very respectful, so I didn't feel scared about, or I didn't feel like any,
Mhm.
him pushing
I
himself on me or
I
anything like that.
gotcha, no.
So we go over there, and then he starts, massaging me, and it was really nice. Let me clear my throat.
So what happens after?
So, after much massaging of the lower back and me feeling very relaxation, we started kissing again.
Oh,
Yes.
man.
So when we started kissing again, this is when I smelt it. He did have bad breath.
I
Why didn't I smell it before?
Maybe
And
because it was covered up by the food that he had just
maybe.
I don't know.
But I mean, I don't know if he was opening up his mouth wider or what, but I'm like,
Ugh.
why is his breath smelling now? So, if you know me, you know me.
I
There's
do.
something about smells I just like,
It grosses a lot of things gross you out though.
yes, I know.
Yeah,
But
so
smells is one of them.
definitely
So I'm like, okay, you're a good kisser, but let's not do tongue because when the tongue comes out,
we're all
that's when I
pulling
get
away like
a
please
woof
don't
of
touch.
the of the dragon.
Yeah. The
Actually, oh, I forgot to tell you this. I forgot before we went into the bedroom and he just massaged me.
uh-huh.
I said, okay, go to the bedroom. I'm gonna use the restroom really quick, and then I'll come back. So I did. He was there in the room for a couple of minutes. I want to say maybe like 3 minutes that he was there in the room by himself. And when I go in there,
Uh-huh.
this big, ugly smell just smacked my face. I'm like, "Wow,
What?
there was this odor in my room that has never been there."
What did it
Ooh.
smell like?
I'm like, and well,
Like
hold up.
sweat?
I mean, in my because I have no filter when it comes to smell. I said, "What's that smell?" And
Right.
that caught him off guard. And he's like, "I don't smell anything."
Oh.
So you know what it smelled like?
What?
You know when someone goes to the restroom and they don't wipe properly?
Oh, that's that booty smell.
That booty
Booty, stinking
smell.
booty, like,
You know, that was the smell. And I'm like, "Ay, Dios mío." So that really, really grossed me out. I'm like, okay, you know what? For first the butt boy smell,
But
butt boy smell,
but
then
boy,
the bad breath smell, okay? And then I'm like, you know what? Why don't you just hold me and just kind of we'll just cuddle. So and and I put my hand underneath his shirt on his back, and I felt like scales. Like I felt
oh,
like,
a
oh, oh,
gross reaction. No, I can't. I
it
can't.
felt bumpy and it felt scaly
Oh,
and it
stop.
felt dry.
Oh my gosh.
What?
I'm getting goosebumps. That's so gross.
It's like, oh, oh, that's just a little eczema.
Little.
No,
Like that guy
in
that
my
told me he had
hand,
a slight limp. That's
my
BS.
that was not no little eczema. I'm like, that is
Oh, was it
something.
all over his back?
I only touched like the lower part because when I touched the lower part, it just grossed me out. I'm just like, oh my god, what's you know?
Did you ever get to did he had it down there too? Did he have scales down there in the package?
Okay, so I want to keep his um
Package private?
private, but he was fine in that area.
Did it smell down there?
But you stop.
Okay, I just wondered.
No,
He
no,
sounds
no,
like a
it didn't
sweet
smell. It didn't
smell and has
smell. No, it
scales,
didn't.
and I just wondered if
It didn't
everything was,
smell down there in the front area.
but everything else was kind of
But
screwed
everything
up.
else was like, "Oh my gosh, this is not nice." Um,
So,
okay.
okay,
So
so everything in the front was okay. Everything else just was falling apart. Man, I guess, I mean,
I felt like, you know what? I felt like taking him into my restroom and showering him and kind of wiping him really good because I think it's those type of guys that, oh, I'm not, nobody's gonna touch my butt, because
not himself. He
some
won't
guys are
either.
afraid of washing themselves back there because they don't want to, feel. How can I say this? They
The
feel like, oh, it's like a gay thing or something.
Oh,
So I
okay.
think he probably is that type of guy.
Okay,
You
so he's
know,
very
he was like, no,
old traditional
I'm
thoughts.
not gonna, I just felt like he would be the type of guy to say that. But I mean, I didn't bring it up. He didn't bring it up. But I did say, it
Oh my
smells.
God.
So yeah, after those
Red flags,
smells,
red
yeah,
flags, red
I
flags.
said, no, 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 this is not, something that I am very into. But uh you know what? How about this?
What?
I don't know. How about if I finish the rest of the story later?
Wait,
No,
hold
no,
up. Why
no.
later? We need to know what happened next.
There is an ending, but you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it
Cha cha.
later.
And we should call him Cha Cha. Charmin.
I was hoping butt boy.
Booty boy.
Booty
No,
boy.
booty do boy. Does he
Oh,
smell like dew? Like doo
okay.
doo?
Okay. Okay, audience. Next session, we're gonna have part two of Booty Do Butt Boy.
Cha cha.
Charmin.
Charmin. Cha cha. Charmin. Dude, it's
Okay.
sad when your dogs smell better than Booty Doo boy. And they're
All right,
dogs.
audience. Thank
Okay,
you
all
so much
right.
for this evening.
I guess
We
we
will
won't find
surely
out
be
till
back.
next time.
Yes, next time, guys. Have a great evening. Adios.